All right. So, what is the difference between inner work and a guided meditation? Or what's similar and what's different about them?
So I think they are a bit different. I think of meditation as an exercise that helps us clear our mind or achieve focus. So that's kind of the outcome that people are going for with meditation. And obviously, there's some long-term benefits as well. But I think of inner work as really a process that allows you to access wisdom that you don't ordinarily have available to gain information from your inner world that you can then apply to everyday problems. So I think the two are very different, even though they share different components and
Mhm.
maybe different processes. So definitely use a meditative state in inner work to go inside and to become focused on your own inner experience.
Mm.
But it's less about then clearing the mind and more about discovering and going deeper with that inner experience.
Absolutely. Um, what is an inner work exercise like if someone hasn't done one before?
Hmm. Mhm. Well, I think they can be surprising because I think when if you have a first inner work experience that goes well, um, it's remarkably easy. You're simply following the prompts, noticing what you notice, and then almost automatically making certain kinds of links or connections between parts of yourself or experiences you've had, um, qualities or tendencies in yourself, and then applying them to whatever question or issue you're looking at or trying to find some kind of guidance.
Mm.
So, okay, so that's when it goes well. I think what happens in inner work is that you're asked to slow down to get in touch with your inner experience. Maybe do some deep breathing, let your mind go foggy, and then to choose something that you want to focus on, a problem, a concern, something that's bothering you, a decision you have to make, a worry on your mind. And then you step away from that and usually work with some element of, um, of your experience that seems unrelated, but has hidden information for you that you then bring back and apply to your original question or concern. It takes a little
Right.
imagination. It takes a little openness and
Mhm.
not knowing, an attitude of not knowing, of curiosity, trusting, because there may be ways that things are not explicitly or rationally connected to each other,
Mhm.
but that's the beauty of inner work, that you're really accessing
Mhm.
things that you don't normally think about or put together.
Mhm. Mm. What's the advantage of doing inner work, or the benefit of doing it in a group rather than, say, me just working on my own?
Yeah. So when whenever we're learning something new, it's so helpful to see it modeled. So that's the first thing about being in a group is that you have a
Mm.
chance to see me or someone else demonstrate the inner work and watch and hear and feel how they process whatever is going on for them.
Mhm.
Um, so you can observe and absorb, I like to say. The absorbing is less intentional and but it's so important, right?
Mhm.
And then the other thing is that you get to stop, ask questions if you have them, if you get stuck, there's someone there to help you. You get to hear how other people are working with certain steps or prompts in the inner work process. And I think all that is useful for people when they're trying to learn a new skill.
Mhm.
And sometimes also, I think being with other people, one of the things we get to see is we get to find ourselves in the spectrum of awareness or ability in terms of a skill or an awareness skill like inner work, we get to see where we're at. And sometimes
Mm.
that's surprising. When we just think of ourselves, we may have one kind of perspective on how we're doing with something. But when we're in a larger group, we say, oh, yeah, I do that too. Or, oh, yeah, I used to struggle with that, but now I feel like I've got that piece of it. So there's that kind of reflection that helps us see our progress. And that's always important when we're trying to learn things.
Excellent.
I guess the other thing when you do inner work in a group is sometimes you get to experience the field. Like, what is it that the people who are working together share? What is it about their process in that particular moment that is mysteriously being touched on by all people in some way? So, or some people in some way. So it can be definitely piquing your interest and your desire to go farther with your awareness studies.
You're the founder of Deepwell, and Deepwell is going to be is going to be hosting and leading these inner work practices. Could you tell us more about Deepwell?
Sure.
What is it?
Well, it's kind of a little bit of a dream that I've had for a long time, which is to create an online library of recorded inner work exercises that people could access from anywhere because it would be online, and use those exercises to sharpen their awareness skills, to deepen their capacity to get to know themselves, get to know all parts of themselves, and to work on particular problems that they may have in the moment. I just think there's so many resources in the process work community around inner work, and there's been so much really important and beautiful inner work structures that have been created. And it would be nice if we all had more access to those.